Hello, hello, hello. So, as you can see, I'm off for work. I actually didn't go in today, not gonna front. I had a better opportunity presented to me, so I went to see what that was about. I'll have updates for that later. But, yeah, outside of that, I had a pretty awesome day. I got blessed today, twice. I can't share the blessings just yet, but I will one day. And yeah, my life is getting ready to change, is what I'll say. For the good. I've been praying a lot. I've put everything in God's hand and I left it. I trust that everything will fall in place with the universe. And yeah, I'm in good spirits. Outside of that, I got to spend some time with virtual school with my kids. That's something I've been wanting to do for the longest. I never got the pleasure. I had when I call off, I get to spend some time with them, but today I actually got to relax and get them their time on the camera and help them with their work and see fully what it's like with them going virtual. It was pretty decent. Nothing really to complain about. Getting them ready in the morning is something I probably want to look forward to. I have this week to spend with my kids, so yeah, pretty excited about that. On another note, I got to dig into my childhood, and it was pretty. I want to say it was good. It was good talking about the bad. It was odd because I did a podcast, I want to say yesterday, and it was talking about the conditions of how we grew up and us not knowing, like, how bad things really are. And yeah, it's pretty funny because my granny lived across the street from us. And with her living across the street from us, I get to see all of them in her house, like all of them. And of course, we stayed across the street, and I'm the only child, of course. And for a little while, it's just me, so I had to go over there while she watched me while my parents worked. I had a two-parent household back then. And my grandma used to always tell me I was spoiled, you know? She didn't like my kind because I was too spoiled. I didn't understand what I had. I didn't cherish what I had. And it took 32 years for me to figure that out. I say 32 years because she told me this when I was 7. She said it again to me when I was 9 and I got put out of my mother's house. And just before she passed away, when I was 12, she told me that. Each time she told me, I never understood it. And like I said 32 years because all my life I have been called spoiled from birth till now. And it's like, after 12, fam, I was not spoiled. I lived in the struggle, like for real, for real. It wasn't that bad, but we struggled. And thinking back on my grandma's situation and how she had pretty much all her kids but 2 in her house. Well, no, at one point she had all her kids but 1 in her house. All they kids in her house. 14 grandkids in one house. Yeah. It was a lot going on back then. But we had fun. As kids, it's like I knew I had more than other kids, but I didn't know how much more. I didn't understand why my cousins would envy the shit I had. It's like, I'm sharing it with y'all. What are y'all mad at me for? They used to talk about me being fat. I wasn't fat, but I was chunky. I had boobs early. Uh, I can't even remember not having boobs. That's funny. I want to say about 7, I grew my boobs. By 10, I was in C cups. So yeah, they always called me fat because of that. I had two of everything: two bikes, two Power Wheels. Um, I had a basketball rim when my daddy was alive, and one when he passed away. I had all the video games, like all the game systems, all the game cartridges that come. All the kids come to my house for the fun because we had all the activities: baseball, basketball, football, video games. We had it all, which is why now I understand why my granny said I was spoiled. I had my own room at 5. Even after my parents had a whole nother kid, like they put her stuff in my room to teach me a lesson at probably like 7. Didn't work because the room stayed trashed. But when she was just a baby, I had my own room. I had my own TV. I had my own bed. And yeah, as a kid, I had the life. Going over my granny house, though, to them, I was bougie because I had all those things. And thinking back on the conditions of their house, we all share one floor model TV in the front room on the floor, no furniture. My auntie had furniture in the front room in plastic for like 3 to 4 years. We could not sit on and touch it, anything. Like nothing. We had to play around her furniture because she wouldn't take it out the front room. It was a refrigerator in the front room at one point. Like when at one point we did move my grandma, but I was like 11, 12. And when we moved in, we literally was fighting over a spot on the floor. So yeah, 14 grandkids in one house is a lot. It was a lot of yelling, a lot of arguing, a lot of playing. We had holes in the floor. We had upstairs with no banister. We used to run and jump over the stairwell as a game. We used to sit on the ledge of the banister where the banister had broke off. I was told it was because of fight. Really don't know. Wasn't there to hear how it happened. Yeah. We used to have fun as kids. We used to run through the attic playing hide go seek. Like the house conditions was terrible, but the fun we had was freaking awesome. Our friends used to come over to a whole bunch of roaches at my grandma's house. We still had a ball, like they wasn't even there. Um, there was a couple times where people was sleepwalking and they walked over they fell over the banister. Yeah, we had fun at grandma's house. My grandma's back porch was the same as her upstairs. We didn't have no banister. There was no stairs. Um, I think 2 brick towers was holding up a wooden porch. She could use her porch, but we didn't have stairs to go down it, so we could never use the backyard. We all played in the backyard, but it was gated off with a private gate. But the private gate was raggedy. It had a metal one, then it had a wooden one around it. We had a field next door to us because they tore down the house. Um, it was a lot. We Our bikes and stuff always got stolen because we had nowhere to put them. And of course, mine went across the street, so I didn't ever have to worry about that. But a few of my cousins got their bikes stolen. Yeah, just thinking back on all of that, it's like we survived that. We survived that. But we was lit though. As kids, we didn't, like I said, we didn't know the conditions of the house. We just knew it was fun. It was always fun going to my grandma's house because it was tore up, and that's the stuff we used to use our imagination to play with. But she fed us all. We always ate. We ate good too. She had her rules, and it's like we didn't know we was poor eating. At the end of the month, we ran out of food because grandma cooked every day. no matter what day it was of the fucking month. And we had restrictions to go in the refrigerator. We couldn't just go in there and eat whatever. We had times when she cooked, after dinner was made, there was no more eating, not even snacking. People stole food, of course. We ate a lot of heavy meals that for families, like beans and soups and gumbos and that type of southern food. So yeah, we ate good. We ate a lot of bologna sandwiches. Well, they ate a lot of bologna sandwich. I got a lot of whoopings for not eating at my grandma's house. I say that. I came from a house where we were eating lobster tail steak and like shrimp and hors d'oeuvres. And then I had to go to my grandma's house. And we eating like pig feet, jambalaya, gumbo, black eyed peas, liver, string beans and potatoes. And it's like, come on, fam. I would rather eat a lobster tail right now. I don't even want this. So, yeah, just thinking back on that lets me know how spoiled I was. Even though my daddy was toxic to my mama, very, very damaging to my mother, he showed her a different side of the world, different life, the good side, barely. Because he came from a struggle too, but he just came from a different struggle. Most of the people in his family were educated. They did something with themselves, so they wasn't rich, but they lived on the fair side of the world. My mama's side really didn't come from a fair side of the world. Everything was chaotic and damaging. Like, my granny always told us how she dropped out of school at third grade or fifth grade, I believe. She never made it past elementary. So most of them never made it out of high school. I'm one of the few of the beginners that made it out of high school. My daddy's side, I don't think any of them dropped out of high school. If I'm not mistaken, my daddy even got a high school diploma. He just didn't do nothing with himself besides the streets. He came here because he got banned from Alabama for attempted murder. He wasn't allowed in Chicago for attempted murder. He got kicked out of the army for stealing the guns to kill people. So yeah, fun times growing up, not knowing how dangerous life really was around me. Being older and watching my kids are spoiled. And yeah, I sound like my granny now. And I understand 32 years later. So yeah, I'm going to end this video here with understanding what I had and what could be. Hope everyone is having a good day. Talk to you guys later.